So welcome everyone, and today we're going to talk about power chords. So I realized that we were doing some of this in some of the lessons and we didn't go over them exactly. So today I'd like to share with you just the movable positions for power chords on the top two strings, but the top three strings, but also the theory behind it, what it means, what is a power chord, right? It's really basic and really simple, and it's a good way to just begin to know the notes and the chords and things like that. So let's get started with the top string. So you could play the same position. It's going to be skip one fret, come down one string. Okay? So skip one fret, come down one string. This would be in G. So let's just start here on the third fret of the sixth string with your first finger, and your third finger on the fifth fret of the fifth string. Okay? So this is a G here, the first finger on the third fret, and this is a D down here. This is the first note, number one, in the major scale. This is the fifth note in the major scale. Okay? So it would sound like this. And these are what like punk uses a lot, right? Like, you know, that kind of stuff. So this is, you can play it this way, or another option is that you can bring your pinky on the fifth fret of the fourth string, just below your third finger, and play all three. And all that is this pinky is the same note as the first finger. So it just doubles it, that's all. So it's still 1-5, but it's 1-5-1. So first note of the scale, major scale, fifth note of the major scale, first note of the major scale, like that. Okay? So you can do it with 2 fingers or 3 fingers. And the position on the fourth string is the same exact thing. Okay? So you could just come down. Let's do it in C. We'll play the C here. You can put your first finger on the third fret of the fifth string, your third finger on the fifth fret of the fourth string, and you can do it with 2 fingers, or you can bring your pinky down to the fifth fret on the third string. And this is a C power chord. So this is going to be a C, first note of the C major scale, and this is G, the fifth note of the C major scale. This pinky is a C again. And this is the other thing. See, you have the G up here again, so you could put your finger up here if you wanted to, and it sounds different, very different, but it's still a C power chord. Okay? That means that if you just play these two, that's an inverted C power chord, right? So this is a C power chord, right? But it has a G on top as the bass note instead of the C. So I won't go into that too much. Don't want to get too confused. But it's the same thing as if you play just your third and second finger, right? That's still a C power chord in a sense, you know? The power chord technically is this position here, but it's a double stop. So a power chord is a double stop, and a double stop is just 2 notes, usually the first of the scale and some other note in the scale. So the first and the fifth in the case of a power chord. So first note of the scale and fifth note of the scale, okay? That's a C. Move up to the sixth string. That's a G. Now, you take this movable position and you move anywhere you want. So this way it's a little important to know the notes on the fretboard. And I'm going to put a video on shortly, if you want to check that out, on how to do that in the easiest way I know of, okay? It's never going to be easy because you have to memorize it all, right? But there's an easy way to do it where you see how everything goes together, and you don't have to like memorize every note, and it looks daunting when you look at it that way. You don't know what anything is, and then you think you have to memorize every single note. But it's not like you have to memorize in every position. There's a method to the madness, right? There's a way to do it. For example, just so you know, when you put the 3 fingers on, this note repeats here, then that's a way to know the notes on the fourth string if you know the notes on the sixth string, see? Because you know that all the notes are going to be separated by 1 fret. Okay? Just for example, there's a method to doing it that will make it a lot easier than just looking at it and trying to memorize every single note, all right? So you can move up to, this would be A here, move down to the fifth string, this would be D, okay? And you can do it like that wherever you want, all over the neck. Then the open ones are going to just be the open, so let's do the sixth string first. It would be the open E string, the open sixth string. Then put your first finger on the second fret of the fifth string, and this is the power chord. And if you bar the fifth string and the fourth string on the second fret, that's the power chord as well, but it's repeating the E, right? And same thing for the 5th string. So you just mute the 6th string with your thumb, touch it lightly so it doesn't ring. And then you can either play just the 1st finger on the 2nd fret of the 4th string and the open 5th string, or you can bar the 4th string and the 3rd string and play all 3. Okay? And these are like most popular chords ever, these 2 power chords. Like, right? They're using everything. And like rock, oh my god, like every single rock song ever, you know? Any rock song that like is based in E uses that chord. Anyone that's based in A, which is most rock songs are E and A because they're very accessible on guitar, you know? Guitar players love A. A and E. And of course you need something to practice, so I'll give you the most overplayed guitar song in power chords ever, which is Smoke on the Water, right? So it's just playing an E power chord, 1st finger on the 2nd fret of the 5th string. Then bring your 1st finger to the 3rd fret of the 6th string, 3rd finger on the 5th fret of the 5th string, G, come up to A, so sliding up to the 5th fret, same position. Then do the same thing again. And this time, you slide up to the A sharp here on the 6th fret of the 6th string. You pick that power chord and slide down to the A on the 5th fret, okay? Slide both fingers down at the same time. And then same thing again. Come back down to the G on the 3rd fret of the 6th string, and the E. All right, so like that. A little faster. All right, just don't play that in any guitar stores because they'll kick you out. No, I'm just kidding. Do whatever you want. So one of the things that you see a lot in punk songs and rock songs, they use a lot with power chords, instead of playing them just like down, right? They usually mute they just put the meaty part of their hand on the string here and touch it lightly. Like that. All right, so I think I have a video on muting, basic intro to muting, but just so you know, if you bring your hand up too far or press on the strings too hard, you won't hear it, see? So you really gotta bring it just at the edge and find a sweet spot and touch it lightly, like. All right, something like that. That's pretty much it, guys. If you have any questions about it, we'll do one on octaves too, because these 2 notes are the same, right? And you could do it like that. So if you have any questions about that, really simple and straightforward, let me know. And if you're not clear about the notes in the scale, what that means, then look at those 2 videos, how scales are made and how chords are made. Those are intentionally theory videos where I do it on Zoom, so I can show you on the whiteboard exactly what everything is, and it's not I don't do it in person like this with the guitar, so you can actually see what I'm talking about. I illustrate everything on the screen. So check that out if you have questions about the scales, just to get familiar with that. And then I'll have that video pretty soon on how to an easier way to memorize the notes on the fretboard. All right. So if you have any questions about any of that, let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Thanks for joining me, and take care till then.